Declutter regularly. Keep only the things that add value to your life and get rid of the rest. This has helped me in so many ways. Until this day, with living a minimalist lifestyle for the past 7+ years, I still declutter regularly. I want to say twice a year, towards like the beginning of springtime and maybe like the beginning of fall. Those are the times where I go through things. So right after the winter, we will have a lot of little random kitchen gadgets, whether family members brought over food, I will make sure I bring their Tupperwares back, things like that. Try to save some space in the kitchen, go through clothes that don't fit me anymore or clothes that I don't like. I've been going through a lot of things here and there. We do live in a small apartment, and that's another thing I want to touch base on with you guys. If you live in a small house or a small apartment, it's very easy to lose space with things that you're not using anymore. So when I was younger, I had a pretty small bedroom. It was, I want to say, like not even half the size of this bedroom. It was smaller than that. And I felt like it was like a tiny closet. And the reason that I felt that way was because I had an overload of purses, shoes, makeup. So if I was just going through things regularly, I would have a lot more space in that room to breathe, to relax, to focus on other tasks instead of feeling cluttered with the amount of things that I wasn't really using. So I would say that decluttering regularly helps out a lot with saving space in your house, saving time. You have more room to entertain guests. You have more room for yourself. It feels really great knowing that everything in your house you get use out of. Like you don't have not one thing in your house that you don't really need. It feels really great to know that you're not wasting items or wasting space, if that makes any sense. Also, when you are decluttering, please do not forget to donate those unused items to people that need them, whether you want to donate them to family members, friends, or a shelter. Please donate before throwing things out. Digital detox. Reduce screen time and unsub from email lists and apps you no longer use. This is something that I always do. I always go through my phone. I want to say once a month. I unsubscribe to certain emails, like those junk emails you get from stores that you rarely ever shop at. So like Kohl's, Target. I unsubscribe to all those emails. And also on social media, I unsubscribe to certain YouTubers I no longer want to watch anymore. I would say like my YouTube list changes a lot throughout the year. I'm very picky with like my content and what I want to consume because I feel like I was consuming a lot of social media and that's what made me feel down, well, more down about my job. It made me feel that I wasn't doing enough because I was just watching far too much content. I needed to like take a step back, take a break, and kind of reflect on what do I want out of social media? Do I want to learn something or do I want to just watch something to pass the time? So I'm very particular now on how I spend my time when it comes to my phone and my laptop and also the projector, what we're watching. I try to only watch one episode of a show instead of binge watching. So try your best to do a digital detox. It truly does help with your mental health and going on your phone all the time. We always have our phones attached to our hip. So I feel like if our phones were filled with a bunch of old text messages, old phone calls, old voicemails, a bunch of photos, it's very easy to feel overwhelmed with just that one little device. So try to unsubscribe to emails you no longer need anymore, delete the apps you no longer use, and also keep in mind to reduce your screen time when it comes to social media. That way you can have more time for yourself, you won't get as stressed out, and also the best thing about this is you save your phone a ton of space, so the performance of your phone is a lot faster. When my phone was filled with things, it was very laggy, and now that my phone has like the bare minimum, it's extremely fast. Capsule Wardrobe. Create a small, versatile wardrobe with essential clothing items that mix and match easily. I am a huge fan of this. I'm still in the process of building a new wardrobe, but I'm also in the process of a weight loss journey. So right now I'm keeping it very easy with like big sweatshirts, leggings, kind of have like a little uniform going on. But I have shown so many examples of the capsule wardrobe that I'm going for. I want versatile pieces. That way if I purchase a shirt, it can go with not just a pair of trousers, but it can go with a pair of jeans. It can go sometimes with a long skirt. So try your best to create a capsule wardrobe. That way the items in your closet, you have a little bit more of a wiggle room with creating different outfits with the same pieces. It's a nice feeling to have when you have this one shirt that can create like 5 to 6 different outfits. Also, with having a capsule wardrobe, it saves you a ton of time with getting ready. So it's one less thing that you need to think of. I remember back in the day, like before going out to a party or an event when I was like younger in my 20s, I remember trying everything on that was in my bureau and like throwing clothes everywhere, and I just couldn't find an outfit to save my life because all the clothes and dresses that I had didn't really match with anything else. It didn't match with my shoes, so I had to change the dress and get a pair of pants that match the shoes, and now the shirt doesn't match the pair of pants, and it was an absolute nightmare. So that's what I'm thinking of now, is having more versatile pieces. That way I don't drive myself crazy when it comes to getting ready to go to the doctor's, to go to a dinner party, or just to get ready during the day. It's a lot easier and calming to me to open the closet up, grab a pair of trousers, grab a sweater, any sweater, and any pair of shoes, and they just fit very well together because I created that capsule wardrobe in advance. I will be talking more about this because a lot of you guys like my style ideas, so we'll be doing a part 2 of what I would like my dream closet to look like and the pieces that I'm going for, so stay tuned for that video. Single task. Focus on one task at a time to boost productivity and reduce stress. This is something that I needed to relearn over and over again. So my little story is, when it comes to doing this job, I film like 3 videos at once, and then I will try to edit one and then come back to filming one and then cook dinner and then do a load of laundry and then clean the house. I was doing far too much. I was literally driving myself insane. I was getting massive migraines on a daily basis, and it just wasn't healthy with me thinking of like I can do it all. So now I focus on one task a day, one big task I would say. So when it comes to filming like this, if I'm going to film, then that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to film my 3 to 4 videos, put them on my laptop so the files don't get lost, and that's it. I'm not going to do any more work for the day. And the same thing goes for a regular job. Focus on one task at a time. If you have a paper due, focus on that one paper and try not to focus on other emails and other tasks that you have to do for that job. Try to focus on one thing at a time. And I know it's hard, especially living in the US, because the work ethic is so different here. And I didn't notice that until I had a deep conversation with my partner when it comes to the work area in the US versus in Dominican Republic where he's from. He was saying the work ethic is a lot different. They're able to take breaks. And I feel like in the US, there was plenty of times when I worked a regular job, I was waitressing and I grabbed a bag of chips for my lunch while standing up in the kitchen, and then threw the bag of chips out and then went to go take care of someone else, answered phone calls, took orders for things that were running out of in the kitchen. It was just absolutely insane. And I didn't have to be that way, but I just felt like, all right, this is what the job requires. But in reality, try your best to focus on one task at a time. Take care of your mental health, take care of your stress levels, because before you know it, you'll have high blood pressure due to the amount of stress. You'll have a lot of other health problems due to trying to tackle too many things at once. So I'm happy that I learned this, and I had to learn it more than once, but I'm happy now that I realize Rome wasn't built in a day. No wonder why they say that, because it's impossible to get everything done. So focus on one thing at a time. I feel like that other saying is true, slow and steady wins the race. When you focus on one thing at a time, you're least likely to make mistakes. Mindful consumption. Before buying something, ask yourself if it's a need or a want. Again, this is something that I always talk about. A lot of you guys ask me, Kira, how do you not have like a shopping addiction anymore? How do you go to a store and stick with the list that you have? The main thing that I think of is 2 main things. One, my bank account. So you have to think about, do you even have money to buy this stuff, or should you just wait? And the next thing is it a need or is it a want? So, of course, I would love to have all new kitchen items. I would love to have new forks, new spoons that won't rust when going into the dishwasher. I would love to have new plates. I would love to have a new blender. But in reality, we're still working with what we have because we are on a budget. We're on a mission to save as much money as possible so we can get a house. And purchasing those things will come one day. So right now, that is a want, but it's not a need. A need is to put food in the house, pay the rent, pay the electricity, like pay the main bills, and that's that. And I know life, you're supposed to have fun, and we do have fun here and there, but when it comes to certain items, I always, I pick it up and I'm like, do I really need this? Or is this something that I'm going to declutter in the next 2 to 3 months? And I was contemplating on also getting a desk, like those stand-up desks. And then I realized, why do I need that? I go to the library to edit most of my videos now to get out the house, or I'll work on the dining room table because it's pretty big. So there's really no need for me to have a desk in the bedroom. I made that mistake like 3 times, and I've decluttered 3 desks in my lifetime. So the next time you go into Target or Walmart or Ulta, if you pick up an item and you feel like, oh my goodness, this is such a viral item, I wonder if it'll work well for me, blah, blah, blah. Try to ask yourself, is this a need or is this a want? Do you really, really need this item? Like, does your life depend on it? If not, then put it back on the shelf. And when you have the extra money, when you have the extra space, maybe you can grab that. Or even when you finish a product, maybe you can replace that product instead of repurchasing the one that you have, replace it with that new product that you want to try. That's what I do. If I want to try something new, like a new skincare product and stuff like that, I wait until I'm done with what I'm using, and then I will go adventure out. Meal planning. Plan your meals ahead in order to save time and reduce food waste. I also want to say with meal planning, you can also save a ton of money. So lately, I have been meal planning around what's on sale. So with it being winter time, a lot of squash, whatever's on sale, like whatever's on sale for that season, those are the things that I'll make meals out of. I also focus on simple meals, so meals that don't require like 30 ingredients, so I don't feel overwhelmed while meal planning. When it comes to making meal planning easy, is simple meals. So tacos, that's very easy to make whether you eat meat or not. If you don't eat meat, like myself, I don't, I will do lentil tacos. So I will pre-cook the lentils, and I'll pre-cook that whole mix, put it on the side in these little Tupperwares, have it in the fridge so it's ready to go for tomorrow's dinner. If you eat meat, then you can pre-cook the meat, and again, put everything in Tupperwares, have it in the fridge so tomorrow's dinner is all set. Same thing goes for lunch. Pre-make your salads, pre-make your sandwiches. It is so easy when it comes to meal planning. I used to do this a lot more when I worked a regular job, when it came to thinking about like, all right, I'm gonna make dinner. And for those of you that watched my old videos, I used to show this all the time. I would make dinner. I'll make enough dinner to have 2 servings. So I would have that 1 serving for nighttime, and then that other serving I would have to take for lunch with me. So I would think about meals that would give me an extra serving. So pasta, soup, it always makes that, the extra amount. And it worked really, really well when it came to meal planning because it was just so simple. I didn't have to like overthink the ingredients. So once again, meal planning saves you money, time, and it also helps you not waste a ton of food. Unsub and unfollow. Easy way to avoid irrelevant content. Like I said in the beginning of this video, unsub and unfollow people that are just not your vibe anymore. And I personally don't take offense to this. I still, till this day, don't understand why people in the comment section announce their departure from channels. That doesn't do anything for the creator. That doesn't do anything for yourself. It actually says more about you than the creator. So if I'm not your vibe anymore, just simply unsubscribe. You do not need to announce it down below on why you don't like my videos anymore. I have gotten so much hate in the past 2 years due to my weight gain, due to how I look now, how my apartment is. And I can deal with people unsubscribing and unfollowing because if I'm not your vibe, then I'm not your vibe. Just find other people that you find more interesting to watch instead of putting me down. So if you are going to unsubscribe and unfollow due to irrelevant content, please do not be rude about it with the content creators or celebrities that you're following or that you were following. We're all human and words do hurt. So just a little FYI, if you find someone that you feel like you don't like their videos anymore, yes, unsubscribe. But there's no need to be rude in the comment section. By doing the unsubscribe and unfollowing, it does help you with not wasting your time watching content that's not meant for you anymore. So you save yourself a ton of time when it comes to constant scrolling. So I find it a lot easier to watch things that you actually like because you've already unsubscribed to the things you don't like. And the last thing is quality over quantity. Invest in high quality items instead of wasting money on cheaper items over and over again. I have made so many mistakes with purchasing the cheapest car, the cheapest shirt, the cheapest pair of pants, the cheapest shoes. The list goes on. And I have learned a valuable lesson. I'm gonna tell you guys one little story because I always have lessons to tell you. So when it came to the car that I have now, I actually purchased it in 2021. It was $14,000. I paid it in cash. Due to the previous car, it got totaled due to someone running a stop sign. I've told the story before. So the insurance did pay me due to that accident because I was not at fault, that driver was. So I did get $14,000 back, which was great because that was more than enough to purchase a decent car. I will say, most of my family members thought I was crazy. They suggested that I only spend $1,000 on a junk car and pocket the rest of the money. And this is where quality over quantity comes into play. I have spent my entire teenage years and 20s buying cheap cars. Craigslist cars. I've had probably like 12 to 13 cars and most of them were beaters. If you know what a beater is, then you feel my pain. I've spent $600 on a car. I've spent $1,000 on a car, $2,300, $3,500, and those were considered all cheap cars. Not one of those cars lasted a year. And I will say, when I purchased this car, it was by far the best thing that I ever did because even though it is pretty heavy on gas, it's a great vehicle. Knock on wood. It's a really great vehicle. Till this day, I do the oil change. I do the maintenance that it needs. She runs great. She is an older vehicle. She is, I think she's 10 years old. Well, gonna be 11 years old. So she is up there in age, but I maintain it so well. And when I purchased it, I did my research because I learned so many lessons with purchasing cheap cars. So when I found this car, I already was looking for a car for like 3-4 months, and I found that this one only had one owner, which that was like a huge plus. And the owner was older, so they usually when you get a car from like an older person, they take really good care of it most of the time, and it usually has low mileage because they don't really go anywhere. So it was overall, it was a great experience. It was a great purchase, and that's where quality over quantity comes in hand. Yes, I could have purchased a cheaper car and pocketed all of that money, but at the end of the day, having a car that is reliable, having a car that is worth the price tag, I would say the quality was just top tier, and I'm happy with the decision I made, even though family members didn't really agree with what I paid. I still have a car till this day. It's a great car. Again, knock on wood, I don't want to freaking jinx myself, but still a great car, and I've learned a valuable lesson with paying a decent amount of money. Now, $14,000 might not seem a lot to some people, but to my family and me, it's a lot of money. So it's a lot of money to just throw down on a car. That is the second time I did that, actually, because I did purchase the car that got totaled. That was $10,000, and that was a decent car too. So that was another case of quality over quantity. Both cars were great. Unfortunately, someone did total that out on me. If that person didn't go through a stop sign, I would probably still have that car because it was a Honda, and Hondas last forever. So yeah, that's my little story, and I am sticking with that from now on. You know, when we purchase a house, I already told my partner we do want a new headboard, and I don't want to go with just any headboard. I don't want to go with like that fake wood. I want real wood because I know real wood is going to last. We were very lucky to find our real wood table in the basement for free. I've told you guys this story numerous times, and now I kind of see the benefits of having a real wood table. It's so durable, it's strong. So I rather spend the money on high quality products, on some high quality products, instead of going the cheap route. So moral of the story, I'd rather be patient than sorry. So if you're thinking of purchasing a vehicle, if you're thinking of purchasing a home, anything that's like a big purchase, try to think of the quality over quantity. Even when it comes to clothes, now I'm realizing that yes, some clothes might be cheap and they might be good quality, but some of the expensive clothes, it doesn't have to be name brand, but some of the expensive clothes are that price because of the high quality of the material and how many washes it will last. And I have noticed with purchasing like certain clothing items from Amazon, I would say it lasts less than a year because they do rip and the colors do tend to fade after a certain amount of washes. So quality over quantity comes in a lot of different ways, and it's just something to think about before making a purchase every now and then. Anyways, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will catch you in the next one.